I told you, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome anywhere.
Hi, Peanut. I'm gonna need you to come with me right now. Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go fuck yourself.
Hi, Brittany Murphy from Gates of Color. Hi, Kevin. How are you
I'm
today?
good, Brittany. How are you?
I'm doing well. So my first question for you is obviously like now with X-Men 97, even some snippets in Miss Marvel, there's been a lot of, talk about mutants. So I was just wondering for you, what has it been like, kind of putting the pieces together to set the stage in motion for bringing more mutants into the MCU?
It's been a tremendous amount of fun, and it's been emotional on a personal level. I started with the X-Men movies. That was where my Marvel career began. And then, of course, over the years, as we started the MCU and didn't have access to those characters, I had sort of emotionally disconnected from them. I was always a fan, still a fan, but knowing that they couldn't be a part of the sandbox. And then one day, they were dropped back into our sandbox, and it felt like a great gift. And we always like to chart out movies over 3 years, 5 years. And when that happened, and we got literally thousands and thousands of characters back between the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, suddenly the next 2 decades sort of snapped into view in terms of where we could go. And Deadpool and Wolverine is the first signpost of that, which is very exciting.
For sure. And obviously, you at this point, you have so many different Marvel movies under your belt. So how did you go about approaching to try and, make things a bit different, make things more excitable for people?
I always thought that the main goal was to not undo the wonderful thing Ryan had done on the first two Deadpool movies without us. He'd made a great character that the audience responded to in a great tone that stood apart from any comic-based films before it. So that was job number one, was to let Ryan continue to do his thing. Ryan is an amazingly creative man who came in and said, how do we elevate this together? How can we keep Deadpool what he is, but elevate him, now that we were a part of the movie? And we were looking for various ways to do that, and there are a lot of ways that are in the final version of the movie that we discussed early on. But there was something that was missing while we were trying to put this together, and that something ended up being Wolverine. And as I'm sure you've heard now, Hugh called Ryan in what is such a case of perfect timing. You almost wouldn't believe it. It was almost like something you would read in a screenplay, that we had a call scheduled, Sean Ryan and I, and some of the other producers were going to get on the phone one afternoon and go, maybe we take our foot off the gas. We haven't cracked this yet. We have to keep figuring it out. We were close, but it didn't have a reason to be yet. And when you make a movie, certainly as anticipated as the third Deadpool movie, but the first Deadpool movie with Marvel Studios, there really has to be a great reason. And I think maybe I was at the beginning of that spiel, and Ryan goes, hey, just so you know, I got a call this morning. Hugh Jackman is very interested in coming back. And we started pitching that around, and I swear to you, the movie fell into place in a day after that and became the movie that people are going to see next week.
For sure. And my final question for you was, what was it like on set the first time where, you were there and you got to see Ryan and Hugh working as their characters together on screen?
Great. They had been doing it for a week or two by the time I went down there. And it's that sense that I first got in either 1999 or 2000, being on the set of X-Men and seeing all of the characters in their costumes for the first time. And I've been lucky enough to have that experience dozens of times now. But when you're standing in front of Wolverine in a yellow and blue suit and Deadpool in that iconic costume, there's something just chemically that happens biologically to me that is so exciting. I feel it in my bones and know that we're off to something pretty amazing. And you can see, it didn't feel like somebody playing the role for a third time, or with Hugh, somebody had been playing it literally for 2 decades. It felt like two people who were finally getting the opportunity to do something they wanted to do their entire lives, and now they were doing it. And the whole movie and the whole experience felt like a part one and something so fresh. And that was my feeling, standing before the two of them in full costume for the first time.
For sure. Thank you so much, Kevin, for your time, and congrats on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Thanks, Brittany. Thank you.
Are you ready? Fuck yeah, I'm ready. I'm the Wolverine.
Stop it.